Today we are going to talk about the art of compromise. Somebody, well, now one person, well, I got rid of him. I didn't get rid of him, but I just, got rid of the comment. He got very angry because we were talking about compromise, and he was saying, well, where would Bobby have been without Eric Clapton and all this stuff? And I was like, it wasn't about that. I watched the video again. It was the last one. It had nothing to do with that.
No.
And when we're talking about compromise could be so many things to stay in the loop of all the things.
Yeah, in a positive way.
Yeah, well, not even talking about Eric. Take Prince, for instance. I went to I was invited to Warner Brothers to watch him play at the lunchtime outside on some little...
Bruce Springsteen?
No, Prince.
Oh, Prince, yeah, I remember.
On a little stage, and he was very irritated. He hated the whole thing, but he had to do it for Warner Brothers in order to get his records out and be the guy, okay? So just things like that. There's so many different things like that. But in the end, what I was going to say was, I think that, if you want to stay on top, there are certain things that you have to do that for the record companies.
Well, to stay contemporary, I understood what Eric was saying, that he had to make some compromise to stay contemporary, to have his label work with him. That was when he was with Warner Brothers at the time.
Who was buying blues music? That's another thing.
Yeah, and only a certain amount of people were buying the blues music, and
that's a whole nother subject unto itself.
I'm talking about the Domino album. Only a certain group of people accepted that and bought it, and bought that music. And so for him to keep moving forward in his career, he had to keep, like a chameleon. He's often referred to as a chameleon, but he has to change, and go with the flow and what's happening.
The Stones, they had to do disco-ish type stuff. They had to move into you listen to everybody, and if they want to stay up there, they gotta do this stuff.
They gotta change and go with the flow. Well, even Tom Jones sings new songs.
Yeah. So that is compromise we're talking about. Some people will not do it, period.
If you can use that word negatively, or you can use it in a positive way. Growth would be a good way to express.
Change with the times.
Yeah,
you have
changing
to change
with the times. No, I don't. But I'm not in a thing to be a big star and stay, in the eyes of the public or anything like that. And with my art, there is absolutely zero compromise. No chance in the world that I'm going to be doing anything for $1. That won't happen. Not with my painting. No, because I'm not trying to be anything or like anyone that I'm not already. So I can say about that particular thing. But if I wanted to, Ahmet Erdogan, I was thinking about him this morning. Bobby Whitlock, come over here, man. Sing CC Rider, and I'll make you a big star. Well, I didn't really want to sing CC Rider, because Mitch Ryder and the Detroit Wheels already did that one, as far as I was concerned.
A lot of people did it.
But, no, I couldn't see me doing that, compromising in any way, because my music and art is who I am. When I was, that was my main focus. That was who I've always been. I've always sang. I wouldn't sing like somebody else. I left Stax Records because I would not compromise and do Raspberry Rug and go out and sing bubblegum songs, No, I wasn't about to do that. If I wasn't going to be singing R&B, I was going to be doing rock and roll, So there are people who will compromise to grow and change with the times. I'm not. I'm not interested in changing for the times,
If it works for you, then that's fine. And it's obviously worked for lots of different people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they don't have anything else.
No.
And with you, thank goodness, you have found art, which is fantastic.
Art found me, you know.
Art found you, or however it worked out. And so that's, for us, it's like a whole new world. And, you know, so honestly, I don't even know how long these particular kind of chats are going to go on. Or, you know, it'll probably run out sooner or later.
Well, as long as people have a question.
Well, there are some questions, you know, but they got to be good questions, you know, or something that you want to talk about.
People want to know certain things. For me, what all this has done is really opened up some doors, you know, that I've had closed for a very long time. You know, because there was no reason for me to keep the doors of my past open. I'm in the now. I'm in the present. You know, in the moment. It's where I really would like to stay. I was just writing to my son Tim about. He said, well, it's probably because I was saying I've got a painting in there that I'm working on, and it's just, you know, it's not. He said, well, it's probably time to sit down and reflect. No, that's exactly what I'm not going to be doing, is trying to reflect and think and use my mind or my anything at all. Best I can do is draw a complete blank, you know, and have it nothing. Stay out of the way of that creative principle.
Well, maybe that's what he meant, you know.
But no, we're talking about thinking, using your mind, and I don't do that. That's not what painting is about. It's not trying to plan something or, you know,
push paint around.
Yeah, pushing paint around, you know, like our dear friend, the writer said, he's pushing words around, you know. No, it's got to be fresh.
Well, and,
for me,
you know,
anyway.
going back to the compromise.
The art of compromise.
And working, and I think with Eric, you know, he really wanted that whole band situation. He really wanted that. And when it was destroyed, and it was pretty much destroyed by one guy, Jim Gordon, it had nothing to do with his illness, folks. So don't write to me and say, you know, you're terrible because he was sick. No, this was happening before that, but it destroyed the band. And then Eric went, I'm sure he thought about it and went, yeah, it's going to be more beneficial to me to be a solo artist. That's what
Robert Stigwood wanted in the first place.
Exactly.
He never wanted Eric to be in the band, and Eric knew that wasn't going to last. You know, he knew the Dominoes wasn't forever. It couldn't be forever.
Right.
We thought, well, one time we talked and we said, maybe we can all, you know, we can go our separate ways and record albums and then come back and do it. You know, no, when it's over, it's over. You know, and that was over really before it got started. You know, talking about getting started off on a bad foot. You know, how about no feet?
That's right.
just diving in and hopefully it's going to work. Well, it worked for Eric because that's what his whole career has been all about, being that solo artist.
Right.
You know, it's real handy for him. All he has to do is have a guitar.
I get it.
You know, man, absolutely. Luciano
like,
Pavarotti. I mean, you know, he couldn't have done that with Derek and the Dominoes. you know, Holy Mother thing.
Well, you know, people always wonder why we don't carry a band with us, and it's for the same reason.
Oh.
Because there's always problems. You just
and well, yeah, you've got something to overcome every time. You know. And that's not really worth overcoming. There's a lot of mountains that aren't worth climbing, you know, and beating yourself to death trying to get a guitar player to turn down.
So, and then the other thing is that people don't think about is like, and you yourself, even you on this, is that we often talk about how the music wasn't the same and Eric changed and all. Everybody has the right to change whatever they want.
Yeah.
But, you know, you don't want to go through the rest of your life having to keep it that high intensity because you have to do that whenever you're on the road permanently. You don't want to have to do that, you know, like David Lee Roth jumping up and down and doing the splits. And, well, shoot, it killed Prince jumping off the stage, doing the splits and all that. It eventually, because he was on these pain pills. So what I'm saying is, hey, it's nice to get into a more relaxed feel. If you want to do that, good for you, you know, whatever.
We just go with the flow.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're not like that.
No, we don't have set lists or anything like that when we perform. And we just, do what feels right, at the moment.
Right.
But
whether
it's
it's
better to
intense
have
or
no
not.
plan for us and for me. It's better to have no plan at all,
I'm just talking about the intensity of that record. That was a one-off deal.
Yeah.
That was a one-off deal.
Yeah. And Eric has been riding it for all these years. Layla, I mean, he's been riding Layla, and a great ride he's had,
Well, that's what you do.
But he's always been able to come back to it, He drifted off and did all these other things, It's great.
It's like a great painter. Rides off that Mona Lisa forever.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. When you do something like that, that's what you strive for, and then you say, "Well, how do I ever repeat?" You try. You continue to try because you're an artist.
You just keep painting,
Exactly.
That's like the Layla cover. Frenson had I found a thing the other day that had a bunch of his art, a lot of his art in it, and they all look exactly like the Layla album.
The girl.
All of them, all the men, the women, they all. And I remembered that, from when we went into his studio. Everything was alike. But then there was this one that was it stood out from all of the rest of them, and we all spotted it at the same time. Carl, Jim, Eric, and myself all spotted that and went, wow, it looked like Patty, At the same time, we all just, like that on it.
And no one ever knew him before that happened.
No, And now he's famous for doing that work of art, And it was right then when we said that, Eric said that's the album cover right there, the front of the album.
That's awesome.
And we're not going to put any names on it, nothing.
Great idea.
Yeah. Didn't want to mar the painting. That would have been disrespectful, for sure.